Hi Aquarius, I hope you guys are doing great today. This is going to be a deep love read. I'm still going to be doing my regular weekly readings, but this is sort of, think of this as a bonus read. For those of you who are, so it's going to be relationship only. For those of you who are single, those of you who are coupled, and those of you who are in a complicated situation, I'm going to timestamp in the description box below, so you don't have to hang out for the whole thing. Let's just get right into it. The first spread I'm going to lay down is going to be for those of you who are single. I have to tell you, the new moon on the 8th is happening in your 7th house of relationships, marriage. It's so nice, very nice. And it's sitting across the wheel from Saturn and Jupiter retrograde in your 1st house. So I feel like just energetically, there's a very high chance of very positive things coming to you. It's really because the North Node is sextiling this energy from the 5th house, which is romance, love affairs. So very nice, energetic setup for those of you who are single to meet somebody. Even better for those of you who are, I see this ideal for those of you who kind of already have somebody, but they're friends right now. And they're going to be released as a friend and taken in more of you're going to be looking at them in more of a romantic light, okay? And that could also have to do with maybe people that you're just, chatting with online, and then suddenly, it takes it to a different level. All right, so let's see what we have. Let's put it all out here. We're going to lay the land. We'll put clarifiers if we feel like we need to. Okay, so we have Temperance, Queen of Swords, Knight of Cups, King of Wands. Hello. I like it. I do like this. I mean, this is about, first of all, starting out with Temperance is always really nice because it's about this energy of healing and cooperation and balance and moderation, right? It's this energy of balance. So I love that you're coming into this, first of all, from a space of balance, but also Temperance in astrology is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is in the 9th house, right? And what's going to be happening in the 9th house for you this month is Venus is entering Libra on August 16th, is going to be hanging out there until September 10th. And so there's going to be this very strong desire for relationship energy that can simultaneously show up as a cool detachment, which is really very much the archetype of Aquarius is certainly an energy of cool detachment. Not that you're cold or anything like that. It's cool detachment, right? And what happens here, though, is we could step back and be very over-idealistic about how things should be, in relationship here, right? And then that could set up a situation where it's very easy to gloss over any sort of potential deeper issues that might need to be discussed. So you just want to be careful in this energy of agreeing to something that you're going to end up later resenting, because with this Venus energy in Libra in the house of your ethics and your belief system, you're going to want a lot of balance here. So make sure that, and you're energetically, you're going to want balance. So if you're agreeing to things, if you're agreeing to doing anything here, right, in relationship, that doesn't really speak to you, it's going to end up whipping back around and biting you in the behind. Now, Mercury is entering Virgo on the 11th as well, and that's happening in your 8th house of how you show up as a we in partnership. There are many other things going on in that house, but I'm going to keep it on focus on relationship right now and love. So what is that 8th house? It's like your money with somebody else's money, your communication style with somebody else's communication style, intimacy with other, right? So when we have Mercury in Virgo, Mercury loves being in Virgo. Mercury rules Virgo. They love each other, right? So this is very much a communicative kind of problem-solving energy. It's also an energy of communicating in a way where you are of service to the situation. So it's a very agreeable energy, even though it's very critical. So don't be surprised if you're feeling very critical about so how much money do they have? How do I connect with them as far as communication? Do I feel chemistry? A lot of chemistry. Now you say, okay, we always feel that, but it's going to be a lot more heightened for you, right, with the Mercury in Virgo. Plus, anyway, up to August 16th, Venus is going to be in Virgo as well. So for the first half of that month, I really feel like there's going to be a very fine-tuned critical eye. And then it's going to kind of soften up and lighten up. But just make sure that after you come in being sort of with a very critical eye about a situation, that you don't end up relaxing too much on what your belief system is. You know, just a little heads up there. And we have the Three of Pentacles. So really nice about collaborating, coming together, right? Mars and Capricorn. So for some of you, you're sticking very strong to your belief system as you enter into a relationship. There's so much like defensive truth going on here. Wanting to build, feeling like you need to defend your personal truth. Very interesting energy is what I'm getting, because I'm getting like this kind of like, this is me, like it or leave it. You know what I mean? Like that kind of energy. And I feel like a lot of you are sort of like that in relationship. Not that you don't want to meet somebody, but that you're not willing to compromise what it is that you want. Well, not even what it is that you want, what it is that you believe in. I'm getting, for those of you resonating with it, you're willing to put the hard work in, Mars and Capricorn energy with this Three of Pentacles, into something that you feel like aligns with your belief system. Because the Seven of Wands also indicates that your morality and your personal philosophy are very important to you right now. And it's very interesting, as I feel like I've been getting this energy for you guys for like the past, I'm going to say, less than a year, but like longer than 6 months, if that makes sense, where belief system is very, very important to you right now. And look, I mean, I get it, right? 100%, because Saturn is all about responsibility, and you have to do things this way, this way, this way. And Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is the house of your ethics and your higher mindedness and your belief system. And you have a lot of focus there. Saturn and Jupiter retrograde have been in your first house of self, right? So there's a lot of strong belief systems being exercised here. And then we have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, yeah, I mean, this is your intuition, right? But more specifically, I like to connect this to numerology, right, when we're talking about this, because in numerology, this is the Justice energy and this is Judgment. And the Judgment is, when it comes to relationships, it's about assessing your past in a way where you're releasing the past. You're facing the past in a relationship. You're recognizing, I did the best I knew how in that relationship. If I didn't do things A, B, and C perfectly, I forgive myself because I was doing the best I knew how at the time. And this is you really trying to come to terms with that with somebody else. And as far as the Justice energy, it's you being in this space of very much making sure that your own emotional needs are being met. And being in this space, in the going in High Priestess mode relationship, it's not that you're hard about anything. It's just that you're very in touch with what it is that works for you in relationship. And the High Priestess is being very in touch with your feelings, because this is a moon energy. But the thing is with the moon energy and your emotions, remember, we can't always trust them. We could trust them in the moment, but we can't trust them to stay that way, because like the moon, these things change, right? The moon changes every 1.5 to 2.5 days. So our emotions do as well. And we all kind of know that. So it's feeling something inside. It's a secret. But secrets sound very ominous. Sometimes secrets are simply us having feelings and emotions that we're not wearing on our sleeve, that we're not discussing with anybody, for sure. So some of you may be in that space. So don't be surprised if also the secret, just with the way the energies are, that the secret is you want to take that friendship to another level, right, for some of you. So we have the Seven of Pentacles energy, which is a really nice energy to have clarifying that, because this is about patience. This is really putting energy into something, being patient, and having it pay off, because something that I just feel like this opening for you. It's a very interesting feeling I'm getting, but you're going to be, whatever you're going to be very patient in trying to build, there's a very high degree of success. But you're recognizing that in order to have something turn out differently than any relationship in the past, you're trying to figure out how to do things differently so that you don't get, the saying, like, if you keep doing what you did, you're going to keep getting what you got kind of thing. So the Hermit energy very much is that, right? Where you're in this space of, it's Virgo, right? I mean, and Virgo's going to be loud and proud this month, right? The sun is going to be moving from Leo into Virgo towards the later part of the month, around the 21st. And then also we're going to have Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Virgo, right? And actually Venus is in Virgo the first half of the month, like I mentioned. So lots of problem-solving energy. And what does this mean when you're single? Is that you're looking at your past patterns of relating. What mattered to you so much then doesn't matter now. What is your belief system now versus then? And when I say then, I mean maybe even when during a very long time period where you made the choice to be single. You know, it does seem like you want to get into a relationship. Obviously you do, otherwise you wouldn't have clicked on this video, right? You're at least maybe just snooping around to see what the weather's like, right? So it does seem like you're looking out at the past. And then we have the Two of Wands. Yes, this is a new energy meeting somebody possibly through work, through friends. Work and friends are elements of familiarity, right? So this could even be somebody in your neighborhood. Maybe you're like working the aisles at Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or something like that. Those are supermarkets for those of you not in the States. But meeting somebody, very nice energy. This is a Mars and Aries energy, but it does seem like you're going to be sort of dealing with these two aspects of a situation. So it could be, should I stay single? Should I bother with this person? Should I go out with this person if the divorce hasn't been signed yet? Should I go out with this person or just stay friends with them? Should I go out with this person because they're really good friends with this friend of mine? And, you know, that kind of thing. But however it could manifest for you. But there are two aspects to something that you're going to be thinking about. Now, we have the King of Wands. Now, I like this energy. Just be a little careful. What I like about this, it's you coming out very sort of motivated to express your ideas, to go after what you want. But you want to make sure that you're not allowing the idea of perfectionism to get in the way. You bring everything that you need to the table. If you had a bad past experience, wash that off of yourself before getting into this next relationship. Because that past thing, whether it's you choosing to be alone or that past relationship, that doesn't have to define what you're moving into in the future. So that's going to resonate with some of you. Others of you are meeting somebody new who's very wise, who has high standards, who's really open, really self-aware, isn't judgy, right? Likes to listen to people. But why I like this for you is because this is an energy who not only is passionate and communicative, but he respects, or she, right? It doesn't matter gender, respects people who don't conform. And that's right up your alley, Aquarius. What I mean by don't conform, meaning have their own mind. They think their own way, right? They like to do, they're very decided in how they like to do things. And that's very much up your alley. Now, that's for the archetype of Aquarius. I don't know what else aspects your chart that might make your experience not reflect that. But for the archetype of Aquarius, this is what I'm getting. And then I get Eight of Wands. One of my favorite minor arcana is this is a good news energy coming in. Lots of busy communication, right? This is great news, especially about love, especially if you've been feeling sort of detached from things, you know, detached from the whole relationship thing. So this could be maybe you're communicating with somebody online and they like, hey, you want to have dinner, you want to get together, you want to hang out, just kind of see where things are, whatever. But what happens after the 8 is it's very fast, it's very busy, and it ends up inciting something firm. Because you think about the wands are chucked in the air at a great speed and strength, and then they're going to come down and they're going to ground, go into the ground in a very firm way. So we like that. Ooh, look what we got. We get the Leo energy strength card. Yep. So this new moon in Leo for you, happening in the 7th house. Again, let's talk about the shadow manifestation first. You want to be careful of prematurely or abruptly saying no to something or trying to change something just to be rebellious. Okay, that's the shadow manifestation. Shadow manifestation could also be egotism. you know, lack of balance kind of thing. Not feeling also could also manifest as being too shy. Too like, no, I can't do that. I don't know, I can't. You know, so let's talk about that. So be careful of the shadow manifestation. But strength energy is very strong desire. It has to do with love. It has to do with loyalty. Strength card rules the 5th house, right? Which is where that North Node in Gemini is transiting for you right now. Whenever the North Node transits a house, it leaves a gift, right? It's always bringing us a gift. So this has to do with romance, love affairs, play, just having a really good time. But balance too. So if you're feeling a little out of balance in the romance sector, it does seem like some sort of balance is going to be had by the Knight of Cups. Yes, this is an offer coming in. Very emotional time though, very emotional time. Now this could also indicate you being super wrapped up in a new partner. Super wrapped up. Now, and I do also want to say as an aside, some of you may be meeting new friends. This is an energy that could definitely also welcome in new friends. I know you don't want to hear that. You're like, no, I want to love a love person, right? But new friends can enter your life for sure. Now, if this is a person that you're meeting, this person can seem really like an idealist. They could seem honestly pretty perfect. Say that they want a partner, they want the same thing as you, all of that. And all of that may be true, but you just want to make sure that this person can walk their talk, because they might be stuck, at least initially, behind like a false persona, not able to drop the act of who they really are and where they've really been, or you know, what's really going on. So just take your time with anything that seems too good to be true. It doesn't mean that they're not a good energy. It might mean simply, depending on what's transiting their chart as well, they might be really insecure. They might be really vulnerable. So just make sure that this is not something that, you know, and you guys are very good at that, right? You guys are air. Air is usually pretty perceptive with this stuff. So just be open to very real love. Don't judge by appearance, you know. So I like this energy for you. There's nothing to be mad at here. Really nice. It looks like you're going to be sticking to your belief system. There's an element of balance. You're going to be listening to your spidey senses, looking at the past, saying, I'm not going to do that again. And just sort of like a very clean energy I'm getting, and somebody new coming in. And it being like a sweet connection. Just be careful of getting swept up too soon as this final card, because I like this sort of progression of these energies, the Two of Wands, the King of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the Strength. Nice, nice, nice. Just make sure that you don't get wrapped up too soon, you know, because that could happen when Venus enters Libra. We're going to be like, oh, hello, that kind of thing. You just want to be careful of that. All right. So let's get into our Venus friends who are coupled. So this is with our single friends. You guys have the new moon in the 7th, so in Leo, and it's happening on August 8th. So your 7th house has to do with, yes, relationships, marriage. Those of you who are married, or you've been together for a long time, you feel like you have that deep soul contract already with each other. So, wow, I mean, the new moon is lovely with Leo, because Leo's all about love affairs, romance, loyalty, very strong desire to change something, though, in this area, right? So anything having to do with your romantic life, it involves other things, but we keep it all about like love right now. So you're going to have a very strong desire to change and improve and balance anything in your romantic life. So that's happening there. And then Mercury in Virgo entering on the 11th of August is happening in your 8th house of where you show up as a we in relationships. So that has to do with how you guys blend finances, intimacy, communication, your belief system, your value system, really, right? So there's going to be a lot of conversation about that, right? Because Mercury rules that conversation, problem solving, beautiful supportive energy to have with that new moon in Leo. I love it. And then Venus enters Libra on the 16th. Up to then, Venus is going to be in Virgo. Then Venus enters Libra. And yes, the Sun enters Virgo as well, by the way, into the 3rd week. But we're going to stick with just the Venus energy right now for this reading. I'm going to do the general reading in a few days for the beginning of the month. But we have this happening, the Venus in Libra, in your 9th house. So it would be Venus in Virgo in the 8th house and then transiting into the 9th house. Why do I like this? Because the 9th house has to do with negotiating. It has to do with negotiating. It has to do with belief system. And the fact that we have the Venus and Libra energy in the 9th house, there's going to be this sort of softening of being able to communicate about what it is that you truly, truly believe. And again, you do want to make sure, there's going to be the strong desire for relationship energy and connection and all of that, but you want to make sure that you're not over idealistic about how things should be, prompting an easy glossing over of some potential deeper issues, because whenever we're hanging with the Libra energy, Libra is the sign really of indecision. It's about the scales and balance and wonderful like that, but it is the most indecisive energy as well, and also the energy that doesn't like confrontation. They hate confrontation the most out of any sign. So in order to avoid confrontation of belief system, it might be easier than normal to gloss over those deeper issues. So you want to just be careful of not agreeing to something that you're going to end up regretting later on. Okay, so we have the Two of Wands. We have the Emperor. Okay, so those of you who are coupled, you may have met through work, friends, something like that, or you're together and you're trying to figure something out. There are two aspects of a situation that you guys are trying to figure out. So it could be anything from having to do with your personal relationship, meaning should we get married, should we not, should we move in together, should we buy that house or that house, should we have a baby or not, should we, seek help or not, that kind of thing, having to do with your own personal relationship. Or it could just be something that you as a couple are trying to figure out. It could be as basic as like, where should we go on vacation? And it could be as global as like, should we move, kind of thing, right? But it could really be anything. But you want to figure out here very in a balanced way. I want to make sure I'm saying that right, because the new moon in Leo, balance is very, very important. There's a lot of chance for success. There's a lot of chance for improvement and whatever it is that you're moving towards being successful, as long as you maintain balance and you figure out which is going to best sort of serve things in the most maximized way. Now, for some of you, it could be, look, depending on where you're at, it could be, should I stay in this relationship or not? For some of you, figuring out how you feel in the relationship. But we do right now, we have the Emperor energy for you, which is being like large and in charge here, really. This is talking about future plans and practical matters being addressed in the current relationship. So because it's following the Two of Wands, you guys might be talking about belief system or how you really feel about something, or what it is that you really want to do moving forward. And it's kind of like this energy of, and a lot of the signs, just generally all of us really, are sort of in this point where energetically we're all at this sort of crossroads. And it doesn't mean end that and go for that kind of thing necessarily, but there are choices to be made about moving forward that are actually very important. And so whatever is being figured out here is very, very important, right? Remember, the Emperor is an Aries energy, which is ruled by Mars, and that's an energy of fresh path, new perspective. We need to look at something differently. We need to energize something, right? Also because that's a fire energy. So in the near future, we have the King of Coins here. So the King of Coins is a good energy in that it's Aries and Taurus. So there's a lot of this very strong desire to improve the connection, because Aries, again, being the Emperor here, is all about really being very assertive in something. And Taurus has to do with, it's a pentacle energy, but it's very much feeling connected. It's a very connected and deep-rooted kind of energy. So there could be this conversation about how can we work harder at the relationship? How can we each be even more generous in the relationship so that we can incite this feeling for both of us that we're settled and this is good, and we both feel very not only secure within the relationship, but that you both feel like you're going in the right direction. Now, it does seem like there might be some need to have some conversation about maybe one of you or both of you are a little funny with money, because this energy has no patience for anyone looking to take what's his. And when I say that, it's not only, even though it's a pentacle energy, it's not only money. It could be, right? So that could be, a little funny about sharing money or something like that. But it doesn't have to be that, because pentacles are also mental, physical, and emotional connection. So this could really show up as somebody who's just like, we have to have that conversation about where you're asking me to change. So the King of Pentacles energy really does not like somebody coming in and saying, look, I know that your belief system, and I know that this is the way you are, but I don't think it's going to work for me, that kind of thing. And you're like, well, I don't know about that, right? Because this is really how I think. Or you might be dealing with somebody who's being very inflexible in some sort of request that you're asking of them and what you need in the relationship. So we have the advice here is the 8 of Coins. And what I like about this is doing a lot of work on yourself. 8 is the number of mastery, and this is a Sun in Virgo energy. So Sun means focus, Virgo is problem solving and looking at things in a very critical way. You see how he's like looking at the books, he's trying to figure out the answer. So there's a need for a very logical and diligent approach to whatever is going on within this connection. So if money is an issue, maybe that needs to be addressed in a way that makes sense, where maybe there could be a discussion about how much percentage of each person's salary is going to be dedicated to the relationship if you guys are in like that living together married space. Whatever is going on with money, that needs to be looked at more closely. Whatever is going on with the belief system, the connection, whatever, that needs to be looked at more closely, because it does seem like the energy is very much here for really good negotiating. It does seem like. Now we're dealing with the Hermit energy that is external to you, and this also can also represent the partner that you're dealing with. So the Hermit is a Virgo energy, and this is all about problem solving. So some of you may be in the space where you're realizing, or they're realizing rather, that it's time to invest more energy, more time, more focus to smooth over any issues that need addressing. I have to tell you, I'm feeling a very healthy energy, because no relationship is without anything, right? That's silly. But I feel like there's just very sort of like, I'm going to say reciprocity and understanding, and I'm almost getting like a vibe of empathy, but at least being heard. And the challenge here, though, is with the King of Cups. The challenge here is settling this conflict. Now, this could be within yourself or with somebody else, having to do with this issue of money or belief system within the relationship. And I feel like if you're resonating with this, you're going to know exactly what I mean. So we have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, personification of air. So air is all about communication. It's not only communication, it's the truth. It's talking about the truth. So this is approaching everything from a very intellectual point. And what I mean by that is allowing whatever information is coming in, whether it's communication with your partner, whether it's something, maybe you're realizing something, you're finding something online. Let's say you have a very dug-in belief system, or they do, and you're online and you see, I don't know, a video on that very topic, and you watch it and it seems to make a lot of sense. It's like whatever information is coming into you, or maybe you go and you speak to a therapist or a trusted friend or a family member, something like that, and some sort of useful information comes in that's going to help you within this relationship. So I do like that. So some of you may even be starting couples counseling, which would be great if you guys are in that space. Always good when everybody agrees to that. But whatever it is, it's doing what you feel right with, right? Now, I do want to say that some of you, though, may be experiencing your partner as being right now as a bit insensitive and maybe a little forthright with their words, but ultimately their heart is in the right space, but they might have challenge in how they present the material, if that makes sense. So you might be dealing with that a bit. So we have a Two of Cups. Good, I like this, because Two of Cups is always a very healthy conversation coming in, giving each other strong love and support. Okay, we have the Three of Wands in reverse. So this is about a delay. It's only delay, lack of planning, some sort of setback. So there's some, see, the Three of Wands is a great energy where it's Sun in Aries, and it's about like moving forward, right? Thriving energy, moving on to realize plans. So for some of you, this could be like a wedding or this important relationship that you're in, whatever it is, bringing to that next level, but there's a delay. So, but the delay doesn't have to be like an earth-shattering thing. It could simply be that maybe somebody is living abroad right now, or that somebody, you guys have to save more money, or somebody needs to start a new job, or maybe somebody needs to finish their education first, whatever it is. But there's some sort of delay. Okay, Tower, don't be scared yet. Hold on. Let's pull the rest of the energy so we can understand how we need to read it. We have the Page of Coins, and we have the Five of Swords. Okay. All right. All right, so whatever's going on with this delay, clarifying this is the Tower. So whatever is going on with the delay, that needs to go. It really does. In order for you guys to work, we have the Mars and Capricorn with the Three of Pentacle energy here. Whatever's holding you guys back from leveling this relationship up, that has to be literally surrendered. It has to be surrendered. You have to give something up in that area, the way you're relating. And it could come off as very abrupt. Now, obviously, it's going to resonate with all of you differently. This is a general message. And again, I don't know what else is aspecting your chart. This is just for the Aquarius archetype. So something is ending. So for some of you, if you guys are, let's say, living apart, it's like that's got to be done. For others of you, you're realizing we have to just come to terms with the fact that we don't live near each other and life is too busy. And we have to realize this is not working out. And you're going to know kind of where you fall in all of this. But it's time to let go of the past patterns of relating here. Because the way it's been going is not meant to continue on this path. Remember, the Tower energy is Mars. And Mars is all about sending us red flags and signals and everything for us to see. But it's when we choose not to see, because it's so much easier to not look at red flags, right? A lot of the time, Mars comes in and is like, that's not working for you. I have to take it away from you in that way. That can't continue. That's got to go. Let's go in this direction. Mars always says that, right? Mars always likes to put us on the chariot, which is a Cancer energy, to go towards our metaphorical home space where we're meant to go, right? And then having the Three of Coins clarify that, because this is all about collaborating, coming together. Mars and Capricorn, it's about a fresh path, putting the work into something here, for sure. Putting the work in, right? Capricorn energy is all about work, so be very assertive in that. And then we have the Page of Coins clarifying this. So this could be, this is very interesting, because I feel like for some of you, I'm getting a very property vibe for a lot of you, paying attention to finances for a lot of you, but the Page of Coins is very much sort of like an offer made on a property. So maybe you guys are deciding that you're buying a house, or you're going to rent an apartment, or you're going to sell your house, or something like that. This is a very hard-working energy, though. But regardless, it's a very strong potential for success. So some of you may be in the space where it's like you're making the decision. You want to just get the hell out of Dodge, right? You want to move. You want to move, you know. But there could be some sort of maybe there was a delay up to this point, but now there's some sort of offer on something moving forward. But that is what that means. But then we have the Five of Swords. The thing is with the Five of Swords, there is a conflict between what you want to be living in this relationship and the reality that you're living. And the tension of that is not created by you, Aquarius, but by the person that you're in the relationship with, at least from a subjective point from Aquarius's perception. I'm saying that for those of you who might be cross-watching. Doesn't mean that it's real. The truth always falls in the middle of everything, right? But here, like you sitting and saying, what I want in this relationship is not what I'm living, you know, and the issue, though, is not coming from my side, it's their side. And the thing is, you can't mitigate that. You can't fix somebody else's stuff. You can't, you can't make somebody else do something that they maybe aren't ready to do yet or anything like that. So really the advice here is you're better off walking away with grace and kind of dealing with the anger and disappointment or whatever, even if it's just internally. Like, let's say if you guys are married and you're happy in every other element of the relationship, you're not just going to up and leave. This is a minor arcana. But this might be recognizing like, okay, no matter how much I yell, scream, cry, stamp my feet, it's not being heard. So it's like, all right, whatever, let me just leave this on the floor for a minute and walk away until, you know, let a little breathing room happen here. It does seem like we have the King of Wands. Yeah, and we have the Ten of Swords. So King of Wands is very much this free spirit energy, right? It's Cancer and Leo, an energy of definitely wanting to express yourself, going after what it is that you want, but you don't want to allow the idea of something needing to be perfect to get in your way, right? Whatever it is, whatever situation, it doesn't have to be perfect. Kind of broken or a little messy is okay. There's still value in that. So you don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be perfect. And no situation has to be perfect, right? You really have to allow that. This is beautiful energy, but it can end up going to shadow manifestation really easily if you get too hung on something needing to be perfect. And then we have the Ten of Swords. And very interesting that we got the Ten of Swords because Mercury in Virgo happening on August 11th, that is the Ten of Swords energy. And what that indicates is an ending of a challenging time period, right? Something with a history here. There's a history here. It's the finality and the release of something that releases you from the frustration and stress, even if it's painful. It's at least the end of a tough time so that you're able to transform into a healthier space. And we have the Four of Cups, and we pull one more. And we have the Six of Coins. Okay. So there's, I'm getting a very like, you got to compromise if vibe here, you know, either they do, you do, maybe you both do, right? Both people compromise. That's true compromise. So we have the Four of Cups here. Yeah, I mean, Four of Cups is, first of all, for those of you, you know, obviously you guys are coupled, some of you might need some spice in your relationship. You might just kind of like need to feel like you're there for each other more. I have your back, you have mine. Some of you are going to be in that space. Others of you are going to just feel sort of restless in this relationship, very disillusioned about what's going on. And you could be very sort of in this space and keeping it real, especially because Venus is in Virgo the first half of the month and the Mercury's going into Virgo. I get like, I don't know if I could stay in this because of this, this, and this. And I don't know, this person is just not doing that, and that, and I can't. You know, it's that kind of thing. But what you need to look at is what narrative is running parallel to that you need to look at within you that needs to be healed from your past. The reason I'm saying run parallel is because it's not to say that whatever is going on with them that you're identifying isn't real. It just means that you have to look at what's going on within yourself that is made to feel uncomfortable because of this issue with your partner. Like look at it. A basic example would be like money, right? Money's never a comfortable topic in a relationship, and so maybe you're arguing about money. Well, what's underneath that? Are you afraid of not having money? Are you afraid of not living in a place that's up to your standards? What is under that? Because underneath that is fear. Underneath that could be ego, right? This is just an example. I'm not saying that that's what you guys are feeling specifically, but you follow what I'm saying? Like, and that could get in the way of compromising because the Four of Cups is an immature energy. It is, right? So it's kind of those cards 1 through 4 are kind of like in the kind of the more immature energies. But that's for another video. To talk about tarot. So we have the Six of Coins here, which is like, again, property, family, inheritance, generosity, support. If you guys have been struggling financially as a couple, things getting better. This could also indicate money coming to some of you as a couple or one of you, and then it helping the situation. But regardless, it's also this energy of support. So it could be money, but it could also just be mental, physical, or emotional connection. Right, this idea of that. Let me just pull one last card. Nice Empress energies, Mother energy, Mother of the Tarot. So some of you might be at this point now saying, okay, you know, let's have a baby, let's move in together, let's get married. Whatever in your life would need to be put into play to grow your relationship. So everybody's different ages and stages out there, all of that. So for some of you, it's fully committing to each other. Others of you, it's making the decision to buy a business together, to buy a home, have a baby, get married. Whatever decision it is, maybe you're looking to adopt, anything like that. It's just as long as it's going to grow your experience together as a couple. So I do like this. It seems like I'm not getting bad energy from there. Aquarius, which is nice. Very nice. All right, complicated. Complicated Aquarius. Complicated relationship. So I don't know, maybe you're together, you're not together. You're together, but you feel a million miles away emotionally. You might be in a space where you're wondering if you're in the right thing. So this first spread, Aquarius, I'm going to pull for your energy. And then I'm going to pull a second for the energy that you're dealing with. That'll be a subjective read. And then I'm going to pull some in separation cards with some oracles for the end, okay? Oh, love, we got the Strength card. Very nice, right? We do. New Moon in Leo. We get the Leo energy. Very nice. Wanting to balance, though. Strength energy is all about balance. And you really want to be very careful, though, of not getting too caught up in like the heat of romance or anything like that, to the point where you're not addressing what needs to be addressed. You just want to be a little careful of that. But especially if your relationship, your feeling anyway, has been tested, things getting better, as long as there's the ability to balance. So let's see what the challenge might be in being able to balance. Seven of Pentacles. So you might be, as the challenge, this might be the energy of not being patient enough, or it can manifest as giving up too soon on something. It can manifest as being in a space where it's like, I don't know, is this worth it? Putting in all this effort into this, is it even worth it at the end of the day? This could also indicate the challenge as far as the balance goes, is somebody's just not willing to put the work in. This is very much a worker energy, and that's the challenge. So we have the basis is the Five of Wands. So there are arguments. Could have figured that out, right? Obviously, you wouldn't be in a necessarily complicated situation if there wasn't a little bit of that. But the Five of Wands is, it's Five of Wands is a Saturn and Leo energy, right? And so if you think about it, Leo wants the balance, but Saturn is like, you have to look at it differently. It's about being responsible in the relationship. You doing what you have to do. Step back and look at where is the imbalance. And I'm fighting about that, though, like that battle of the wills, because Leo can get very sort of dug in. And Saturn can sit there all day long saying, I don't care how long you guys have to fight for. I'm not letting you move forward until you figure this out. That kind of thing, right? So there's a lack of agreement, strong opinions, fighting to be heard. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So coming into this energy, you were feeling a lot of anxiety, overwhelm. You might have even had some trouble sleeping. Really not responding well to the external stress of what was going on here. And your way forward, just not being really clear. Not being, because it's like you couldn't see your way out of something here. So right now we have the Ace of Pentacles. So Ace is always brand new. It is an auspicious energy, but it's about happiness and contentment. But it's I feel like the argument has to do with how stable you feel in the relationship. The argument is about feeling very connected and doing what you need to do to feel like you have that stability. So an example of this could be like you're arguing about getting married, or you're arguing about the lack of connection that you feel. You're arguing about your intimate life. You're arguing about where you guys live, whatever it is. All of those things that I just indicated, that would be like an Ace of Pentacles would be helping you, where you would be shown how to achieve a foundation of stability in your mind within the relationship. But there's arguments here about at least how things should go, how they should, how are there choices that you guys have to make, or just things within the relationship, however it manifests for you. And then we get the Tower as the, I like that. Look at that. The suggested approach is the Tower. Now, this is going to manifest differently for some of you than others. For some of you, it's like this is not working. You have, like, this has to be a necessary surrender, right? It's like something, a secret could come out, something needs to be looked at, even though it's shocking. It's time to let go of this past pattern of relating, you know? And for some of you, this could be a very abrupt change. Now, for some of you in a complicated situation, this could be kind of off the mark of what I'm talking about, but still very much the Tower energy. Some of you may have put an offer in on a house and it fell through, because that could be the Tower as well, okay? There could be a lot of arguments also about something having to do with money and real estate, because the King of Pentacles energy is generous to a point. To a point, you know, he has no patience, no energy for anyone looking to take what's his, meaning like this is an energy that could struggle with greed, that can struggle with looking at things differently, right? And this is the energy that you're dealing with in this complicated situation. So if they have a good heart, they want to be in the settled relationship, they want all of that, they want to be protected, all of that, but they really don't want to, and even though it's a king, it could be male, female, it doesn't matter, they really don't want to, it's not even that they don't want to, they don't have patience for anybody who's like looking to overcharge them or be after their money or make them feel like they need to pay for everything. Or if it has nothing to do with money, somebody who's looking to change them, say you can't be like this anymore, you have to be more like that, right? This is somebody who's just like, no, look, I'm a good person, I'm solid, whatever. If that's how I feel, that's how I feel. And, you know, it's hard to get them off their mark. So that's got to change, right? It does seem like that needs to be looked at. That is the recommended advice here. So if you guys are going to be able to stay together, it does look like that needs to be addressed. But for a lot of you, Spirit is just saying it's time to leave, because this person is not going to be as equitable as you would really like in the relationship. And what's showing up as the challenge is being able to communicate this for a lot of you with the Magician and the challenge. This could be somebody who, you know, is just not very strong at communicating to problem solve right now, because the Magician is Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini, communication, and Virgo, problem solving. But this is in the challenge position. So this could be somebody just sort of being misled by the wrong energy. This could be just problems working through and solving issues through healthy communication, and almost being rather scattered. I feel like you might be dealing with a rather scattered energy as well, sort of thinking they want this and then that, and just sort of not being very grounded, and that being really difficult. We have the Four of Wands here in the near future. So the Four of Wands is it's a Venus and Aries energy, and this, guys, for some of you, especially those of you who are making the choice to leave, this is a new partner opening up their heart, expressing their love, expressing their affection, okay? For others of you, if you're arguing about, because the Four of Wands is a honeymoon energy, right? Three of Wands is getting married. Four of Wands is the honeymoon and coming home and establishing a strong foundation, very auspicious energy, right? So it's like the strong foundation energy, right, in the near future. But as a final outcome, we have the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords can indicate an ending where there's a history here, and it's the final release of that time period that's going to, even if it's painful, you're going to be better off for it, because it's the release of something. Now, I do want to say, for some of you, you're meeting somebody new and you're releasing this complicated relationship because you're recognizing that this is just too stressful. Others of you are recognizing it's time to put all the past arguments, all the past nonsense in the past, and it's time to turn the page. But, you know, remember here, the Ten of Swords is that Mercury Virgo energy, which is that August 11th energy, right? It's the Ten of Swords. It's what's going to be hitting. And it's going to be specifically happening in your 8th house of where you guys show up as we. I'm just going to say, for some of you, that 8th house can also indicate the finality of a divorce. And that 8th house, it's you getting your settlement from a divorce for some of you. For others of you, it could even be the settling of an inheritance or an insurance payout, but that's for another video. But that Ten of Swords energy is this recognition that what's been happening within this connection, it's got to end. And then we have to we need to figure out a more positive way of moving forward in this. So for some of you, it's going to be that. Page of Swords, new information coming in. Three of Wands is about Sun in Aries, very moving on to realize plans, looking at what's fair, what's not fair. High Priestess mode, tapping into wisdom. Two aspects of a situation that you really need to look at. We have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is a very unpredictable roller coaster energy. Expect the unexpected, highs and lows, sudden truths coming out, underlying conflicts being exposed. And then we have you really at the end of the day feeling confused, disappointed, feeling like somebody let you down, and really not feeling like the relationship is really going to be able to work. I have to tell you though, Aquarius, I feel like you sort of standing on an island between the past and the future. And the Page of Swords could be somebody reaching out to you online and showing a lot of interest, go to bring you in a different direction, right? The Three of Wands really could be, you know, you might be dealing with unconventional people or an unconventional situation, meeting an unconventional person, whatever it is. But it's somebody who's really valuing you and your uniqueness, and you paying attention to your emotional needs and the fairness within whatever it is that you're in. The High Priestess is keeping something secret though. And you being in a space of confusion at the end of the day, because there are two aspects here. You're like, should I stay? Should I not go? You know, what do I do? What's best for me? And then we have this expect the unexpected and feeling confused. So I do feel like for a lot of you in a complicated situation, it certainly is complicated, right? In that you do want something to work, but it looks like somebody's not going to be showing up in the way that you want. Even though you guys are going to be trying to move it forward, there's going to be this element of disappointment. There is going to be, so even if you guys end up staying together, you're going to end up being disappointed this month in something, in the way something rolls out with this final moon energy. Let's just pull one more. Nine of Wands though, you're still going to have fire in your belly for it. Even though you're tired of it, even though you're feeling defensive, all of that, it can go in your favor. You're hanging in there, all of that. You still have desire to be with this person, but it's certainly going to be a month of trying very much to balance this out, and you're going to be there with bells and whistles on to do it, but you can't control this other person and how they handle things. Others of you, you're just really wanting to leave the situation, but it does seem like those of you who are open to it, and obviously you're not going to all resonate with this, but you're meeting somebody else. I don't see you jumping into a relationship with them, but you're not talking about this new energy that came in. And then there's this expect the unexpected. And the moon energy for some of you could certainly, because this is a relationship read, it could be the energies are a mess. You could be disappointing somebody else. Then they still want to be in it with you. So depending on what your situation is. But it does look like a very kind of cyclical energy there of trying to have a meeting of the minds, and it being a serious challenge, you know, right now anyway. So let's see what's going on with them. Queen of Cups. Gemini and Cancer. Okay. Somebody has good intentions here, I will say that. We got the Three of Cups as the challenge. What? Three of Cups. This could be like gossip, too much partying, not being very supportive in the relationships, depending on, like, you know, there's different ways it can manifest. Irresponsible flirting. So we have the Queen of Cups energy, which is Gemini and Cancer, which is like, and this is them. This is a subjective read, right? So the Gemini energy is communicating Cancer about what helps them to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure. This could also have to do with signing the contract on a house. Gemini also rules like signing on the dotted line. Cancer is that the energy of home. So it could have to do with that. And then we have the Three of Cups energy also, which is like not being very supportive. So there might be like a lack of support if there's some sort of real estate situation going on here. And also the fact that you have Uranus in Taurus in your 4th house of home, there is change going on anyway within your home. So it could be literally changing homes or changes within your home. Maybe you guys can't agree on work that you do into your house, or it could just be shocking surprises of like moving in, moving out, right? Depending on where you're at. The basis of the situation for them is the Six of Cups. Coming into this energy is the Ace of Cups. Hold on. Let me just pull. Somebody's having trouble getting out of their own way. Ace of Cups. This is, for some of you, this could be your partner is dealing with the idea of being a parent, the idea of fertility, the idea of pregnancy. Ace of Cups could also be falling in love with somebody new, because Ace is new. Now, if this is an energy with it, so some of you are certainly going to know what I'm talking about with that. Others of you are like, no way, that's not happening. This can indicate in the past there being a lot of strong love and support, right? Strong love and support. And again, we talked about the Queen of Cups is them right now, and what the Three of Cups challenging them is. The basis of the situation is the Six of Cups being clarified by the Four of Swords. Now, this is a subjective read. I'm not saying that this is the facts, but they feel, I see here, you know, they would like to find balance in the relationship. They would. Because they feel like they're suffering some sort of mistreatment from you. You might be like, hell no, girl, like what? And it doesn't matter. It's their subjective belief, right? They believe that. And why would they believe that, right? But this is also an energy of nostalgia and wanting harmony. But for some people, this could also indicate the past coming back, reconnecting with somebody from their past. And then we have the Four of Swords, which is sort of sitting back, taking time out, right, for perspective. Really trying to figure out a better strategy for moving forward regarding what's going on with you guys. And what needs to be focused on is this Eight of Coins, right? The Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is, there's this need for them to be very logical and diligent in their approach to this situation, whatever it is. And not to allow their emotions to get too wrapped up is what they're feeling, right? It's, you know, it's a Sun in Virgo energy. So there's focus, Sun in Virgo, very critical problem-solving energy, right? But logical and diligent. What makes sense? Now, the energy external to them, we have the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups, this is you. So this is the space you're in, the Mars and Pisces, right? Where you're allowing yourself to dream. You're in this space of wanting everything to just come together as far as communication, as far as romance, as far as building a family, having a family, whatever it is, maybe a business that you guys are sharing, maybe a home, something like that. This is really about contentment, but it's contentment that also has security attached to it. And they're like very logical and diligent. Now, what's their challenge is the Sun. They can't see. So there's some sort of like, they might be dealing with depression. They might be in this space where they're not able to move forward because of something, where they just feel like, you know, they can't do it. You know, there's delay. There's a lot of delay in something here. There's delay. The delay is the block for them. Now, in the near future, we have the Five of Pentacles. So for some, this could be a testing of resources if finances are impacting the relationship, or at least fear of financial issues. They might not be real, but there's a fear here, you know, like a sense of lack. But there's this need to consider some sort of new option so that you know, this can be figured out. This might be a great fear of losing the security of home, anything like that. But it doesn't, again, Pentacles also mean mental, physical, or emotional connection in the sense of lack. So this could be pain that they're experiencing because you guys broke up. This could be them feeling very, very disconnected from you. But the thing is with the Five of Pentacles, the support is there. They're just not seeing it. It's almost like the sense of lack of the kind of support that they want in the relationship. Nine of Swords energy indicates anxiety and overwhelm and worry, and again, maybe even some depression, but they're just not responding well to the stress of the situation because they really can't figure out what to do. They really can't. So I don't feel like they're without feeling. Now, I'm just saying for some of you, this could be a reconnection with somebody from the past and them really not knowing like what to do about it, right? For some. Don't let your mind run there if you know that that's not your story. I'm feeling like you would know about that already. For others of you, it's this idea of like having a baby and all of this. It's like, oh, they're feeling that you guys are like not on the same page when it comes to something. I have to tell you, is what I'm feeling. The Empress is a pregnancy energy, but obviously not all of you are going to be feeling that. But again, this could be anything that would grow the relationship. So whatever it is, fill in the blank, buying a house, getting married, but getting that business, expanding something, whatever it is. It's the mother of the tarot. Think pregnancy, expansion, anything. Expanding your house, whatever that is. We have the Six of Wands. Good. We need the Six of Wands, right? Six of Wands is about really good communication here, where at least feelings are shared and well received, right? It's positive communication to deepen the connection of what's going on. Very necessary to talk about what's going on. We have the King of Pentacles. So what are you guys going to be talking about? How somebody's funny with money. How somebody just doesn't want to give more than a certain amount. How you know, this person just really is not comfortable changing in the way that you're asking for. Whether it has to do with concessions regarding money or concessions regarding how they show up in the relationship. And there is this energy of disappointment and feeling disillusioned about, you know, is it actually going to be able to last? This is like a crisis of faith. And we have the King of Swords focusing on the mind instead of the heart. Knight of Wands. Then we have the World. Good. Learning the lesson. So I have to tell you, like, there is this focus on something needing to be a certain way, needing to be perfect. There is this idea of that. Knight of Wands is like, you know, wanting to be a free spirit. For a lot of you, it's like, the reality is, learn my lesson. This is not working out. It's time for me to move on with the World energy. World is a Saturn energy, but it's the gift after Saturn, the Saturn energy. So it's having gone through a lot and then something positive coming out of it. Learning a lesson. So for some, the person that you're with feels like, look, I'm really trying with this. It's not working out. It's time for me to just be free because I'm learning like this isn't meant to work. Others of you are going to be focused on, your partners are going to be focused on realizing, learning the lesson that looking for something to be too perfect or too much one way is not serving them as far as being able to move the situation forward, and them learning that lesson here with the World card. But there's definitely a lesson learned from some sort of challenge that's been really difficult, and making the decision to not continue on that path. So this could be like, okay, we need to compromise more in this way. I realize this now. For others of you, this could just simply be, I'm realizing that this relationship really isn't meant. Obviously, you're going to know, right? If you guys have been married for a long time and, you know, otherwise things have been good, but you're in this weird, complicated time period, obviously it would resonate probably with the one interpretation. Others of you, if you're not together and you feel intuitively that things are really, really messy right now, you know, however that could manifest. Food for thought. Food for thought. Let's pull some cards for those of you who are in separation. Such an Aquarius energy to get for this first card. Our relationship was different and special. Other people didn't understand it. I still have dreams about you and our happy times together. My heart always comes back to you even when I don't want it to. I love you, but I'm afraid to reach out and have you reject me. Wedding rings, date, girl with the snake, hand of cards. I mean, look, there's no question there's deep emotion here for sure. I mean, our relationship was different and special. Other people didn't understand it, as being clarified by wedding rings, union, wedding, married, soul connection. You know, you didn't have to be really married, right? That soul connection. And then clarifying that is, you show me a stability and security I've never known. So there's definitely like depth there. I still have dreams about you and our happy times together. And then we have date, meeting somebody new, getting back out there. being apart has been life-changing for me. It does seem like they're trying to sort of get past something, but my heart always comes back to you even when I don't want it to. Then we have girl with a snake. This could be guy with a snake too. This is like an empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used. Boundaries. You hold up that mirror to me to show me the ugly aspects of myself, hoping to change me, but it only makes me resent you. So they have some like sort of low-key, maybe not so low-key, self-sabotaging situation going on here. I love you, but I'm afraid to reach out and have you reject me. That's clarified by hand of cards. Take a chance. Afraid to reach out. Take a chance. Not showing the hand. Taking a chance. Gambling. I never meant to make you feel like you don't matter. Well, there are still emotions here. It does seem like somebody has a little bit of a messy energy when it comes to trying to move on, right? They don't want their heart to always come back to you. So what do? Right? They go on a date. They're trying to push it back out there, but they keep coming back to the fact that you're a truth teller for them, right? You hold that mirror up and to show them the ugly aspects of themselves, hoping that they're going to be like, oh, I see now, right? But then it only ends up making them resent you. So what's very clear to you, they don't want to look at. So, but there's still a lot of emotion here for sure this month of August. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for sharing your energy. Take care now. Bye-bye.